Myself Raj, welcome to Raj Online Trainings. In the series of Spring Framework and Spring Boot full course, in the last video we have seen the Spring Boot introduction. The main need of going with Spring Boot is it is used to develop Spring applications rapidly. It's mainly for what? It provides rapid application development. How it provides? It is going to automatically configure Spring by adding the project dependencies in pym.xml file, and it avoids writing Spring bin XML configuration files. It is going to minimize the boilerplate codes. And one more very important one, it comes with what? Embedded Tomcat server, and Spring Boot is mainly used to create microservices. Today in this video we are going to see how to create a Spring Boot application using Spring Initializr. First of all, let us understand what is this Spring Initializr. So what is this Spring Initializr is? Spring Initializr is a web-based tool. It's a web-based tool that simplifies creating and setting up Spring Boot projects. It's mainly to create the Spring Boot projects. Then what we can do is developers can select the necessary configurations. Developers can select necessary configuration for the projects. Then what Spring Initializr is going to take care is Spring Initializr takes care of the following. What it's going to take care? Build tool, like we can choose Maven or Gradle. Then it's going to take care Spring Boot version. So dependencies. What are the dependencies we are going to add? Dependencies are added based on the version. Based on the Spring Boot version, the dependencies are going to get added here. Then dependencies required for the project. Which we call it as Spring Starters. We call them as Spring Starters. Then packaging, like whether you want to go with jar or var. Now, and the URL for this one is Spring Initializr URL. So we have to open this URL, https://spring.io. This is the URL for developing a Spring Boot application using Spring Initializr. Let me show this. Open this URL, start.spring.io. In this page, here we need to choose the project here, like whether you want to go with the Gradle or Maven, like this. So here I am choosing Maven, and the language we are going to choose Java, and Spring Boot version we are choosing 3.5.3, and here group. Let me go with the group as com.rajtech. Group means the company name, and artifact, it's the project name. Here let us go with the name, like first Spring Boot project. Then it takes the name same as artifact. Description, you can provide any description. Let me say like first Spring Boot application. Then package name, let us go with the package name like com.rajtech.springboot. Some package name. Then here we need to add the dependencies. So what dependencies required for your project we need to add over here. So here click on this add dependencies, and you can search for the dependency. Like if I want to go with Spring Web, I can add this Spring Web. Okay, we can add Spring Web, and you can add like we can go with Lombok. We can use Lombok, or whichever the dependency, like MySQL connector means MySQL driver. Okay, MySQL driver. If you want to add Oracle, we can add here Oracle driver like this. Okay, so whichever the dependencies are required, we can just add over here. Then once we add these dependencies, now we need to click on this generate. We can even press Ctrl Enter key. So just press here generate, click on this generate button. Then it's going to download a zip file on our system, like first Spring Boot project zip file. Let me open this and extract this zip file. Once we download zip file, extract it. Right click and say WinRAR, extract to a folder. Once we extract to a folder, here you can see, once we open this folder, you can see again first Spring Boot project. So we have to choose the folder where you can see this src mvn pom.xml file. So this folder we need to open in our Eclipse. So in order to open this project in Eclipse, let me open Eclipse here. Then what we need to do is we need to import this project into our Eclipse workspace. How to import is, in Eclipse, go to this file menu and you can see the option import. Import. And under this, we need to choose Maven. If you expand Maven, you can see here existing Maven projects. Select this and click on next button. Here we need to choose the folder where project is available. So browse here. In our case, it is present in C drive, users, Raj S, downloads folder. I have kept in downloads folder. So here you can see the folders here. First Spring Boot project. Open this. So which folder we have to choose? Where you can see this src.mvn folders. That folder we need to choose here. That is first Spring Boot project. Select this folder and click on finish button. That's it. See here. We can see the project over here. See. First Spring Boot project. So it's downloading the sources now. There you can see under src main Java, you can see the package com.rajtech Spring Boot, and this is our application. First Spring Boot application.java. This is the entry point for our Spring Boot application. When we run this application, this is our entry point. And see, it is annotated as Spring Boot application. And you can even see Maven dependencies. In Maven dependencies, you can see here all the dependencies got added. And you can even see Tomcat embedded. As we mentioned in the last video, Spring Boot comes with embedded Tomcat server. See, that dependency also got added. And if you open pom.xml file, you can see the starters here. See here, you can see the starter, Spring Boot starter web, MySQL connector, you can see Oracle, Lombok like this. Whichever the dependencies we are adding, all those dependencies got added into our project here in pom.xml file. Right? Now, how to run? Just you can go to this entry file, first Spring Boot application. You can right click and say run as Java application. This is our entry point for our Spring Boot application. And you can see the banners here. You can see the banner, Spring Boot banner. This we call Spring Boot. And you can see the version of this 3.5.3. And you can even see Tomcat started on port number 8080. So whenever you create a Spring Boot project, it automatically comes with a Tomcat server. It comes with embedded Tomcat server. So this is our first Spring Boot application, and we have created this Spring Boot application using Spring Initializr. In the next video, we'll see how to work with the Spring Toolsuite. It's a very good IDE for us. Spring Toolsuite, it's mainly to create Spring Boot projects. That we'll be seeing in the next video. Please subscribe, like and share. Thank you.